What's going on, guys? It's Investing Hustler, and today I have with me Max Porterfield, and he's the CEO of Callinex Mines. So today we're going to talk about your company. Max, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm an entrepreneur in the mining space. I've headed up Callinex Mines for almost 6 years now. I've been very actively exploring some really great jurisdictions within Canada, based in precious metals exploration. And prior to that, I spent a few years doing investor relations with some mining issuers, as well as on the buy side from a reputable natural resource specialist prior to that. Specialized in investing in natural resources, so I really covered the industry and sector across multiple positions and skill sets.
And of course, right now, a lot of investors are in fear. I don't know if it's mostly because of the coronavirus or mostly because right now we're seeing a downfall in pretty much everything. Like if we look at the markets right now, the only thing that is up seems to be gold. How does this affect your company?
Well, I think that it creates a lot of opportunities for us. There's a lot of fear, first of all, and you can't get around that across all markets, and that's whether it be the coronavirus, whether it be uncertainty in the global economy because of the coronavirus. I think fear creates a tremendous amount of opportunity. You've got to really have a stomach for volatility if you're going to invest in the natural resources space, because there are wild swings that are probably even more exponential in a lot of ways than to overall equity markets, but that creates really tremendous buying opportunities for the longer term. And so I definitely see a big long-term buying opportunity presenting itself in the natural resources space, given everything that's taking place, because the underlying fundamentals have not changed, but the equity valuations for ourselves and a lot of companies in the space have been dramatically impacted without need. Particularly if you're looking in issuers in Canada that have exposure to precious metals like we do, it creates a really great buying opportunity. Again, you mentioned and alluded to gold. It just hit $1,700 for a brief moment. It's very close to that right now. That's not an all-time high for U.S. dollars, but it most certainly is an all-time high in Canadian dollar terms, having gold where it is right now. And that's going to stand to benefit all issuers in Canada with Canadian exploration or development projects that have upside to gold and other commodities. And again, a tremendous opportunity in a lot of ways. In addition to that, you saw the pullback that you've had in oil and gas, oil over the past 24 hours is going to be a big benefit to the mining industry as a whole. The biggest operating cost for a producing mine is going to be your energy costs. So to see energy prices come down in tandem when you have increasing precious metals prices, it's going to be a really good thing overall for the industry, despite the shorter term uncertainty and fear that's in the market. And if you really listen to what Warren Buffett always says, one of his key quotes has always been, you got to be fearful when others are greedy. And you've seen a lot of greed at these all-time highs that the market's been seeing hitting over the past several years here, but also you need to be greedy when others are fearful. And now's the time to be greedy because there's a lot of fear that's pervasive throughout the market.
Exactly.
Cashed up, it's a perfect time to add to your positions or build new positions and opportunities you think that are going to be viable longer term.
Let's say I'm a new investor. I never heard about your company. Can you tell me why I would invest in your company? What does your company offer for new investors or something I can learn about your company?
Well, again, we're an exploration company that's focused in Canada. We've got a portfolio of assets that are focused in 3 known Canadian mining jurisdictions. The Flin Flon jurisdiction in northern Manitoba, the Bathurst camp of New Brunswick, as well as the Buchan camp in Newfoundland. And the real focus on that is having a portfolio of assets and exploration projects that are in close proximity to that infrastructure. Gives exceptional upside. And if you look at it from more of a strategic standpoint, you're exploring areas and have assets that are of geologic pedigree, which is why that infrastructure has been put in place there. And oftentimes the biggest hurdle for any project to become economic or get banked is your upfront capital costs. And your biggest upfront capital cost is going to be your infrastructure. So by exploring and developing assets in close proximity infrastructure, in particular infrastructure that's in need of new feed and that's kind of sitting idle, creates a tremendous opportunity for us as a company.
So what milestones do you guys hope to achieve in the future, and what can we expect? Like any exciting news in the next upcoming years? What do we expect from this company?
Absolutely. So we're actively advancing the projects in these 3 known Canadian mining jurisdictions that I mentioned to you. In the Flin Flon jurisdiction of northern Manitoba, we've got a portfolio that's been very prospective for exploration potential there. And we're taking a new approach using new technologies that aren't typical for that camp that I really think is going to put us on a path to potentially make a very large discovery. And this is looking to make a discovery at a time when there's a deep need for discovery to be made in the town of Flin Flon. Flin Flon, I mean, as you probably unaware of, or a lot of your listeners would be unaware of, is a Canadian mining town that's been in continuous production for over 95 years, and it's been across 32 mines and counting. Now, what's different this time around is that the flagship mine that's in operation today is due to shut down by early 2022, and there isn't a new discovery that's been made to feed that infrastructure like I mentioned before. So Callinex is putting itself in a position to make a discovery, but not only make a discovery, but make a discovery in an area that's in a need of a discovery in the near term, where there's going to be an immediate need for that mineralization that we potentially discover. So again, that instantly would be a reevaluation catalyst for the company. We had a 3,000 meter drilling campaign that we've just wrapped up, and we're awaiting assay results out. And so again, that'll be, I think, a very meaningful opportunity for investors is announcing those drill results. In tandem, we've been actively drilling in the Bathurst camp of New Brunswick, where we already have a sizable resource base of zinc, lead, and silver-rich VMS deposits at both our Nash Creek and Superjack projects. We published a maiden preliminary economic assessment on those assets in 2018 at $1.25 zinc, and it showed a rather robust economics, or potential economics there, of $128 million net present value. And again, that's not being priced into today's valuation, because the company's valuation today is only about $6 million equity valuation. And when we first published that PEA in 2018, the valuation for the company is roughly $30 million. In addition to that, in Newfoundland, in the Buckens camp, we've got the Point Leamington deposit, which we're currently in the midst of looking to update the resource on. Currently, we're operating under a historic resource, but with that being said, Point Leamington is a gold, zinc, copper resource there. In fact, on a historic resource basis, it has nearly 500,000 ounces of gold. And like I mentioned earlier, the sustained move that we have in precious metal prices today is going to further impact the potential economics for an asset like Point Leamington. So being able to update that resource, really highlighting what's in the ground there at Point Leamington, and then begin doing work such as metallurgical testing potentially to show the potential recovery rate for those minerals there, in particular the gold, can also create a meaningful catalyst for the company and its shareholder base moving forward as we look to de-risk all these assets across the portfolio and add value to them through our active exploration development objectives.
Wow, that's a lot of information to take in. So let's say someone was interested in your company. How can they find you? How can they research you? Do you have like websites? Do you have ways of being contacted? Like, what's your ticker symbol? I guess I know your ticker symbol, but if you want to talk about it, if you want to talk about your stock a little, how's it performing in the past couple of years? Any like, expectations of how high or what's going to happen with this company?
Yeah, so first off, I mean, if you want to find out more information on the company, you can go to Callinex.ca. That's CALLINEX.ca. And you can also purchase our shares on the open market, as you mentioned, on the TSX Venture under the ticker CNX, as well as for the US-based listeners, you can also acquire shares on the OTC markets under the ticker CLLXF. In terms of what I see for the potential for the company moving forward, obviously making a big discovery would have a big impact on the equity valuations for our shareholder base, and that remains the biggest objective for us today and in the immediate future. And again, we've got the drilling campaigns in place that are underway with new results pending, both in the Flin Flon district of Manitoba as well as in the Bathurst camp of New Brunswick. In terms of valuation opportunity, I mean, I've been a big buyer of the stock over the past 12 months, as well as my family. I own roughly about 0.5% of the company going into 2019. And today I control now 4% of the company. And that was through open market purchases around this valuation, as well as through participating in a financing that we did mid last year.
I think that's always good to hear when the CEO is an owner or a shareholder of a company.
I own 4% of the company.
4%.
In total, between myself and my immediate family, we're looking at roughly about 15% of the outstanding shares. So again, we're big believers in what we're doing. We see a lot of value down here. And again, kind of put our money where our mouth is and been an open market buyer myself.
Yeah, so right here, I just want to just show the viewers that, so this is your website right here, Callinex.ca. Okay, so if they ever wanted any more information or to contact you, I guess you have all the information here, and it seems like a pretty nicely set up website.
Yeah, and website aside, you can get our contact details on there and give us a call. We're always happy to discuss things with the current as well as prospective shareholders.
So how passionate are you about this company, and what would it mean to you if you got this right?
I'm very passionate about Callinex. I'm very passionate about exploration and take great pride in the work that we're doing. You know, I feel that in a lot of ways, when you align your interests in the greater good of these communities, as well as your shareholder interests, you're putting yourself in a position to succeed, create a lot of benefit for the communities in which we're exploring, as well as our shareholder base for the investments they made in both the company and inherently the communities that we're exploring. So again, we're very, very passionate. Our technical team has been associated with numerous world-class discoveries, 3 of the 4 largest discoveries in the Flin Flon camp of Manitoba, and numerous others. And we deeply care about the communities at which we explore and want to have great success and make big discoveries for our shareholder base.
I'll leave in the description the link to your website, your ticker symbol, anything. Do you want to give like contact information? Is there a way to contact you directly, or do you prefer everything done through the website?
Yeah, no, there's a phone number on our website. It's 604-605-0885. You can also put our email. It's info@Callinex.ca.
Okay, that's perfect. That's great hearing from you. Hopefully we get to hear a lot more from you, and hopefully actually, precious metals are probably most likely to do better than everything else right now, since gold is going up, everything's going up. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I see precious metals, performing well. They performed well this year. I think that they're going to stay elevated for the foreseeable future. Precious metals are going to perform well any time of economic turmoil. As a flight to safety. You've definitely seen that over the past several weeks here with the fears of the coronavirus, the drop in oil prices, and what have you. Gold's performed excellent during those type of times. And in addition to that, if you look at the real interest rates around the world, in the United States and globally, you're in a negative real interest rate environment, which is obviously always going to be beneficial for the precious metals. So again, I do see a bright future for the precious metal space overall in general.
That's perfect. That's good to hear. I guess you could kind of consider it a safe haven for investors, but always know there's always risk involved when you're investing in any type of company. But it was really good hearing from you, Max, and hopefully we get to hear from you more, and I wish your company the best of luck.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it and look forward to the future.
Okay, well, that's it, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget, give me a thumbs up. If you guys have any questions for Max, leave them down in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out their website. Check out the company. A lot of potential I see here. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye-bye.